Over 50 years ago, the government stops investigating UFOs. That means we've got a cover-up. Happy New Year. And if you haven't already started your new year, let's start it together on this YouTube channel. Let's ring in the new year with a little current history concerning UFOs and the cover-up of those UFOs. Hello there, Applebrooks honey. Are you wide awake? I took a nap, and then I took another nap, and I thought, wow, am I going to wake up in time? Oh, I woke up in time. I thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to get on here because I slept too long. Took too long of a nap, you all. Happy New Year's. That's right. We had to start it off right. Yeah, we can start it off with UFO cover-up. I even got a New Year's drink in this glass, this cup. It's Canada Dry ginger ale. I thought, I'm feeling a little, just woke up, so I'll have some Canada Dry. With some ice. Yeah. You was watching something about aliens before you came over here, Sponge 101. Then it's divine synchronicity. That's what it is. Divine synchronicity. Let's see if we can get this going over to the National Archives. Yes, Happy New Year's. Oh, Rich the Prophet, honey. We had to stay up for the new year. That's right. We can do it. We are doing it. The aliens run the world. That's why they stopped investigating. Well, because they're a very popular subject. They're very interesting to study. That's right. That's pretty cool. Ash Boogie, the aliens run the world. I like that. Hey there, Jay Jocelyn. That's okay. You are we going to come over here? Oh, I can read that from here. I didn't realize that I can shrink myself down, and I can read this excerpt right here. In the meantime, so we're looking at this right here. It came from the National Archives. Well, archives.gov. You can see where it came from. Let's read this right here. So, and then we can read some more stuff, you all, because it's kind of exciting if you think about it. Just think, they released that on November the 20th of 2019 from Washington, D.C. to mark the 50th anniversary of the end of Project Blue Book. The National Archives will display records from the Air Force's Unidentified Flying Objects investigations. The documents display opens on December the 5th of 2019 and runs through January the 8th of 2020. The display will be in the East Rotunda Gallery of the National Archives Museums in Washington, D.C. Yay, Barbuzz. That's wonderful. Yes, that's great. They have a featured document display. 50 years ago, government stops investigating UFOs. Reports of a flying saucer over the U.S. airspace in 1947 caused a wave of UFO hysteria and sparked federal investigation of unidentified flying objects. For more than 20 years, the Air Force has analyzed UFO sightings and any security threat they pose, most notably through Project Blue Book, which launched in 1952. After the investigation found no evidence of any UFO that was extraterrestrial in nature or that threatened national security, the Air Force announced Project Blue Book's termination on December the 17th of 1969. Of the 12,618 UFO sightings, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. I think my throat's going to start itching. That's not very nice. Yeah. Of the 12,618 UFO sightings reported between 1947 and 69, 701 remain unidentified. Project Blue Book concluded its investigation 50 years ago, but the American fascination with UFOs endures. Project Blue Book's duration coincided with a tumultuous period in American history. Domestic unrest during the Civil Rights Movement and Vietnam War protests had spurred the growing American distrust of the government. Aware of this mounting skepticism, the Air Force quickly declassified and transferred its UFO investigation records to the National Archives, which they are available for public examinations, and the records on display from those files. So that is going to appease the people during that time, releasing these UFO information, you all. That's, oh, wow. So they had a war protest. What if a lot of the war stuff have something to do with UFOs? What if they do an extraterrestrial activity and they're just not saying that? Yeah. So that's somewhat interesting, y'all. Let's come over to this one place right here. If you're being scared, you should probably hop off the channel because we're not stopping. Yeah. I'm have another drink of this ginger ale. Well, that's right, you all. We've got it. So there are, oh, look at these. Look at this, you all. Pieces of history blog. If we do right here. What is this? Look, oh, National Arch. Oh, so we got this page right here. We can go to it. The National Archives. News. Do records. Look, aliens in the archives, you all. This looks pretty cool. I like to do let's do a share the screen. Stick myself over here. I want to look at it at the same time if we can. I'm going to try to do this again. I really am. Let's see, window capture. Make myself small. That's right. I can make myself smaller. And let me put myself on here, you all. There. That's a lot better. That is better. Are we alone? Look underneath me. Aliens in the Archives. Project Blue Book. Spotting UFOs in the film record. Project Blue Book. Home movies in UFO reports. What on earth is it? You know, a lot of, just think people took videotapes, all of that kind of stuff, destroyed the stuff. They did. Destroyed it, which isn't very nice. Yeah. So I'm going to come over here. We're going to look at it now. All right. Do records show proof of UFOs? Are we alone? You know what's really strange? Take, for instance, if I can, for instance, let me see if I can bring this back to me for one moment. Can I get myself over here? I think I can. So, like, are we alone? Now, this is kind of strange. You know how I had, like, my mouse pads. We are not alone. Okay, I thought, well, I think they'll do the we are not alone. And, you know, I had wrote that on stuff like that. We are not alone. I thought I liked that phrase. And then it wasn't long before, you know, everyone else, the phrase is a very common phrase. You have to ask yourself, how come so many people use that phrase all of a sudden? Really ask yourself that. Why all of a sudden would people use that phrase, we are not alone? I didn't think about it until, like, I don't know, a few months ago. And I thought, well, everybody's using that phrase again, we are not alone. Is it subliminal programming? Could be. Yeah. Oh, that's okay, because I took several naps. I did. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to have some kind of dry ginger ale. It's my New Year's drink. That's right. It's what it is. Are we alone? I'm going to get to it, you all. So, Washington, February the 9th of 2018. Ever wonder if we are alone in this universe? Over the years, many researchers and scientists have scoured government documents at the National Archives in search of proof that life exists beyond Earth. The National Archives and Records Administration is actually home to several. I've just flipped the screens, you all, so I could come over here. Oh, dear goodness, Gina. I've lost my place. Oh, to several collections of documents pertaining to unidentified flying objects or flying discs, and over the decades, those resources have been thoroughly probed and scrutinized for even a hint of information and proof of alien existence. Major General John A. Sanford's statement on UFOs. Let me come over here, you all. Let me push this button. Now I'm getting somewhat of a hot flash. I want to make sure I've got this thing. Let me push this back to me. I want to make sure I got this. See if we can hear this audio. Hope I didn't get in trouble. Yeah, hope I don't. I could. Maybe not. Let's hear this. Let's see it. Can we see it? What's he doing? He doesn't look too happy.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucers. The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air.
Can you all hear it? Because I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let me know. I mean, I paused it just because I want to make sure you can hear it. Okay, so I'm going to push the button again. Okay, let's look at it. He's waiting very diligently.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucers. The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat or menace to the United States. In pursuit of this obligation, since 1947, we have received and analyzed between 1,000 and 2,000 reports that have come to us from all kinds of sources. Of this great mass of reports, we have been able adequately to explain the great bulk of them, explain them to our own satisfaction. We've been able to explain them as hoaxes, as erroneously identified friendly aircraft, as meteorological or electronic phenomena, or as light aberrations. However, there have been a certain percentage of this volume of reports that have been made by credible observers of relatively incredible things. It is this group of observations that we now are attempting to resolve. Our basic difficulty in dealing with these is that there is no measurement of them that makes it possible for us to put them in any pattern that would be profitable for a deliberate, custom sort of analysis to take the next step. We have, as of date, come to only one firm conclusion with respect to this remaining percentage, and that is that it does not contain any pattern of purpose or of consistency that we can relate with to any conceivable threat to the United States. Is that?
He's still talking. We're waiting.
We can say that the recent sightings are in no way connected with any secret development by any department of the United States. We can say that the recent sightings are in no way connected with any secret development by any agency of the United States.
Watch me for the signal there, sir. Start.
I'll start when you throw it down.
Wait a minute. Hold it, boys. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
They look nervous.
Major Keyhole, as author of the book Flying Saucers Are Real, what is your opinion of these new sightings of unidentified objects?
With all due respect to the Air Force, I believe that some of them will prove to be of interplanetary origin. During a 3-year investigation, I found that many pilots have described objects of substance and high speed. One case, pilots reported their plane was buffeted by an object which passed them at 500 miles an hour. Obviously, this was a solid object, and I believe it was from outer space.
That's kind of interesting. Let's shrink that back down. How do we get over to this part? Right here. Okay, let me make sure I'm back on this area. So that was Major General John A. Sanford's statement on that. So one set of documents known as Project Blue Book includes retired declassified records from the United States Air Force currently in the custody of the National Archives. It relates to U.S. Air Force investigations of UFOs from 1947 to 69. And according to a U.S. Air Force fact sheet, a total of 12,618 sightings were reported to Project Blue Book during this time period. And of those, 701 remain unidentified. Look, the project, once headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, officially ended. Wright-Patterson. They know they're benevolent. Their technology is unmatched. The subject of UFOs. Okay, so look at this. See something, say something. So they had, in July the 15th of 2017, the text message blog post, see something, say something, UFO reporting requirements, Office of UFO Military Government, Bavaria, Germany, in 1948. All of the Project Blue Book documentation is available on 94 rows of microfilm, T1206, with the case files and administrative records. These records are for available National Archives microfilm film reading room. Look at this, you all. There is even a Project Blue Book webpage, so researchers can access more than 50,000 U.S. government official documents related to the UFO phenomenon. College Park, Maryland agency has been seeing a steady amount of interest in files dealing with UFOs. Multiple times, the same person would write multiple times, hoping for a different answer. 37. It's New Year, you all. It's now 12 o'clock. It's now 12 o'clock. So it's Happy New Year now. That's right. 12 p.m. That's right, you all. We are at 12 p.m. And it's Happy New Year. That's what it is. I thought I hear some thunder out there. No, Gina, honey, you hear some fireworks. People are ringing in the new year. That's right. See, we did it. We didn't even know it. It's like boom. Yeah, Happy New Year. That's right. Happy New Year's, you all. A cheers to the blah, blah, blah. You got to wake up, Gina, honey. I'm going to drink my ginger ale with ice. A cheers to you and a Happy New Year. So if you've got a glass of wine, water, some type of beverage you should drink into the new year, boom, I hear those fireworks going. Who's the M? I got this at the thrift store. That happens to be my middle name, Maria. Gina Maria. So I thought I can get that because it's part of my name too. And it's an insulated cup. And I got it for $1.99. So that's what the M is for. It was a good deal and it's part of my middle name. That's right, Maria. Gina Maria. Yeah. So it's Happy New Year. Yeah. That's right. Ring it in with the UFOs. Yeah. Let me see this. I wanted to see if we could see some cataloged descriptions really fast. I guess that's it. That's what you're going to see. Nothing. Well, that's really interesting. Oh, you all listen to this. Oh my gosh. It says it's potentially this is potentially harmful content alert. Oh my goodness. Potentially harmful content alert. Wow. Hello, you all. We got some potentially harmful content alert. The catalog contains content that may be harmful or difficult to review. Click here to learn more. Wow. I want to see it. Well, why is it harmful? Why must they put that on here? Jesse, honey, it doesn't matter whether I'm a flat earther, a round earther, or a spiritual being in this body, an angelic being in this body, an otherworldly being. It doesn't matter what I think about the earth. This is not about flat earth or a round earth. Okay, we live on a thing called earth, regardless of its shape. So look at this. So it's potentially harmful content alert. So look at this. The search took too long and timed out. Only some results are listed here. I didn't do nothing. All I did was click something. Look at that. What is this? The Case of Dennis. Tax book. Oh, they don't want to show it. The original finding aid included information. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Yeah. memorandum suggestive changes in proposed presidential message to Congress on the subject of migration, immigration, escape, court, common superior court, microphotography, naturalization, district. Why is this about correspondent, superintendent, and stuff? I think they got rid of all the UFO stuff. They don't want nobody to see it. 1800s? Postmaster? Anti-aircraft defense on the continent in connection with Overlord? What is that? Connection with Overlord. This is what my husband's his military records and stuff, their pages were like this, and they had holes in the top because that's where the little metal tabs were. United Kingdom Overlord. What is Overlord? Allied Naval Commander-in-Chief. Priority is used up to D-Day. D-Day onwards. Critical dates in terms of D-, embarkation, subsequent maintenance. Regarding aircraft concentrations in order of priority and stating critical periods. Before, look, AEAF of anticipated scales of hostile air attack. Before and after D-Day. Army regarding availability of heavy anti-aircraft, light anti-aircraft, searchlight balloon resources. Declassified. Heavy artillery? You think they got heavy heavy artillery thing in that time period? And it was much more than what we were told? Do you think it was something like that? Yeah, Christina Faith. That's right. They want to distract us. And now it doesn't want me to do something. I want to see the catalog descriptions, but it doesn't want us to. Let's just look one more time. It was fine. It really was fine. Potentially harmful. I want UFO. UFO. That's all I want. Classification. Classification. I should write hostile air something is what oh, you're so welcome, Richard D. Yeah, it's fine if we can get somewhere with it. But they said we've got some harmful content alert. And it doesn't want to be too telling. It wants to show us, but it won't let us. You know? It will not. Photographs. I'm going to go to the photographs. I'd like to see what that car was about. There was a photograph of a car. Unknown. Oh, no, these are just people. Training camps. Aviation. That looks kind of like extraterrestrial, but it probably isn't. Wow, look at their hats back then. Let's shrink it down. I want to see some UFO in the photography area if it would let us, but there's so many pictures. I want to do aliens. Alien. Hostile. Aliens is what I'd like to see if it would show us. Of unknown origin. Neil, it's all in the Project Blue book. Let's see if they'll do it. No, we're not going to get to see anything of origin. This is just all kinds of things. That's okay, you all. So let's see this one right here, UFO interview. Another interesting expert, Gemini, air-to-ground transcripts. Astronauts who have Borgie at 10 o'clock high. Let's see if we can see this.
The United States Air Force, in discharging its responsibility for the aerospace defense of the nation, is called upon to investigate reports of unidentified flying objects. 2 Air Force officers have over the years been very closely associated with this activity. Lieutenant Colonel Lawrence Stacker was formerly the chief spokesman for the Air Force on the matter, and Major Hector Quintanilla is now the chief of Project Blue Book. Major Quintanilla, what are the objectives of Project Blue Book?
The objectives of the program are twofold. They're the same as they have been since 1953 when the regulations were written. First of all, to try to determine if the UFO phenomena presents a threat to the security of the United States. And second, to determine if the UFO phenomena exhibits any technological advances which could be turned into research and development.
What's the record so far?
To date, we have over 10,000 cases at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, of which 646 of these remain unidentified. That's not to say that we could not have identified more cases if we had gotten to the observer quickly and checked the local activity.
The Air Force has been accused from time to time of hiding information about UFO. What do you have to say to that, Colonel Patton?
Well, these charges are absolutely untrue. Actually, the United States Air Force releases statistics on the UFO phenomena through the Department of Defense press desk periodically, and we've always honored accredited media when they want to investigate a given specific sighting.
There's nothing to hide.
There's nothing to hide at all.
Is there anything in the files, either classified or unclassified, that would indicate that there may be extraterrestrial visitors over here?
First of all, the project is completely unclassified. And there is nothing in the records which would indicate that we have been visited by any advanced civilization.
How does the Air Force look upon people who make reports of UFO? Do they look on them as qualified observers?
Yes, they do look on them as qualified observers. Actually, most people who report a UFO sighting are patriotic citizens who have been mystified by something that they've seen, and through a patriotic sense, report it to the local law enforcement officials or to the United States Air Force base near them.
What would you consider as a person qualified to interpret what he sees?
Well, I consider astronomers are genuinely experts in their field. First of all, they have a tremendous advantage over the other physical scientists, and that is that they have powerful telescopes and photographic equipment that can further interpretation.
Do astronomical laboratories make any contribution to the UFO program?
In a negative way, they do, because I've never received a UFO report from an observatory.
Not a one.
Not a single one.
Well, how about the tracking and detection facilities that the Air Force itself has? How does this fit with the program?
Well, actually, to begin with, the United States Air Force is charged by an act of Congress with the air defense of the United States. And the North American Air Defense Command and the Air Defense Command have space tracking facilities which are constantly on the alert 24 hours a day. We're interested in anything that flies in our atmosphere.
Well, how about UFO reports in other countries? How are they handled?
Well, UFOs actually occur worldwide. However, the United States is the only country in the world that places as much emphasis on the phenomenon. Other countries place a burden of proof on the observer and not on their Air Force.
And that would make your job a lot easier if they did that here.
Yes, it would.
Thank you, Colonel Tacker, Major Quintanilla. I would like to close by reading a very brief excerpt from the report of the Air Force's Scientific Advisory Board, which they made recently upon completing a detailed review of the subject of UFO. This is a statement. The committee concluded that in the 19 years since the first UFO was sighted, there has been no evidence that unidentified flying objects are a threat to our national security.
Okay, that's what he said. That is exactly what he said, and I wish we could see the 37 cataloged descriptions of this phenomenon, but they don't want us to see it. They said it was harmful to view, is what they said, you all. Look, they're having difficulty finding the Project Blue Book site. bluebookarchive.org. They're having difficulty going there. Why? Why would they have difficulty? Let's try it again. Oops, we have another thing. Oh, look at that. We can't go look at it. They don't want us to. Oh, we can find it right here. Unidentified flying objects. So you can see all this. The Majestic 12, you all. Let's look at this. I didn't know Wright-Patterson was all about UFO stuff. I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. December the 17th of 69, they announced the termination. Why do you think they terminated Project Blue Book, really? At this last video, the guy said they had 10,000 reports. 10,000. And the other day, what did we read? We read something where they said, oh, it was a transcript that they gave to the reporters' Pentagon press briefing. They said, oh, we only have 400 reports. That's it, 400 things to report on, just 400. And back then, 10,000. 10,000 is what they had. Yeah. So from 47 to 69, sightings were reported to the Project Blue Book. Of these, 701 remain. That's what the guy said. 701 remain unidentified. Headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Let me see. Where's that located? I'm trying to think. There was an Air Force base, even when we were in the military, that you had to show even more than your military ID card to even get on that base. Even when we were like traveling, and you can, if you travel while you're in the Air Force, you can get on the certain Air Force base. One of these bases, they had to take a picture of every one of our ID cards in the family, and they had to document it, which was really strange. I thought, wow, this base is really locked down just to even get through the front gates. Yeah, it was kind of strange. National Academy of Sciences, Air Force investigating UFO reports in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. With determination, they regulated establishing and controlling a program for investigating UFOs and analyzing. They rescinded it, you all. They were scared. They really were scared. The Majestic 12. Oh, I remember cod liver oil. Yeah. So, Majestic 12, top secret register number. I don't know. I've heard about it. Eisenhower, Presidential Library, confirmed particular markings. Wow. Documents, files. Yeah, that's okay. You can look at the Roswell incident. Everybody knows that. It's got an ISBN number. Why did we have to study the ISBN number too? Don't know, but we did. Well, there's lots of things about it. Aliens in the archives. Let's see this. Records of Project Blue Book. Luke Air Force Base. Let's look at Luke Air Force Base, Shua. Can we do that? Luke Air Force Base. (1953). Well, we see this all the time in the sky. They said that's unidentified. That can be seen a lot. Look how it changes position. Flying super fast. Looks like a needle. End of the recording. There wasn't much to that one at all. There really wasn't. Montebella? What's this? 138? These must be silent films if I'm in the way. Oh, okay, so they got these two dots that are traveling together. DC. Thank you. I bet half of these films, you can't even watch these anymore. At all. So long ago. That was the end of that, you all. Let me see. What is this one? No, I didn't want to look at that again, you all. I really didn't. Dukinsville, Texas. National Archives. See, people see this a lot. They do. Let's. Okay, that's all they're filming, just a thing. Notice they're not going to put anything of major importance on there. They're just going to show these things flying in the sky. That's all they're going to show, just little bitty small ones. Look, Project Blue Book may have closed in 1970, but it doesn't mean their citizens no longer see things in the sky and attribute them to an extraterrestrial origin. It's otherwise. Let me see what this one might be. Same thing. I'm not gonna waste time looking at that, you all. But are we alone? Yeah, we're not alone. None of it. Let's look at this. What on earth is it? Share what you want to below. That's fine. I think that we're not alone. We definitely are not alone. There's a lot more things I could go into. It's kind of late. It's really late. Yeah, it's a new year. A new year, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more talk about UFOs. They got a little bitty thing like that. A ton of UFOs. Earth is one of 9 worlds. Never heard that before, but that's okay. There's lots of different theories out there. There really is. And we don't focus on any one theory on this channel. We just explore all kinds of things. I am going to go, but so are we alone? Let's see. Let me get this off of here. We're not alone. Over 50 years ago, they stopped investigating UFOs. Some of those UFOs fly over 500 miles an hour, much faster than our aircraft, more or less. And it was worldwide. Just think, UFOs were seen all around the world, and they still are. And it's getting kind of hard to hide them. As you know, from this channel, we documented so many. A lot of them at the observatories in Hawaii and on live webcams, regardless if other people can see them or not. It's still documenting them, you all. So I am going to go. Thank you all for coming on here, and I hope you're all able to get some rest now. It's past midnight. It's 12:25 a.m. on January the 1st of 2023, and we rang the new year in with a tad bit of government archiving, and we wanted to access a website, but it said it was harmful to our health to look at the UFO stuff. It was very harmful, more or less. They wouldn't let us see it. Would not. So I am going to go. Thank you all for coming on here. And with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, you all. Thank you. And Happy New Year. I hope it's a lot better than the old year that we just got through. Hope this is a lot better. And if it isn't, well, I hope we have the strength to endure it. I'm sure we will, or we wouldn't be here. Love you. Thank you.